Journey to Older Tales.
The Emperor's New Clothes. In a certain kingdom there lived a vain and extravagant emperor. He spent every day changing into luxurious clothes, proudly showing off his appearance. The people and ministers worried about his extravagant behavior, but no one dared to say anything. The emperor firmly believed he was the greatest and most magnificent ruler. One day, two swindlers came to the palace, claiming they could create a magical fabric. They explained that this fabric was so special that it would be invisible to anyone foolish or unfit for their position. The emperor believed this was an opportunity to prove his wisdom and entrusted the swindlers with the task. The swindlers set up a workshop in the palace and pretended to weave the magical fabric. However, they only waved their hands over empty looms and didn't create anything. The servants and ministers, unable to see anything, were afraid of appearing foolish and praised the non-existent fabric. The emperor eagerly imagined how magnificent the magical fabric would look and waited impatiently for its completion. He believed it was an opportunity to showcase his wisdom and authority. Asking his servants about the progress, his excitement grew, and he couldn't wait to parade the new clothes in front of the kingdom. When the swindlers announced the work was complete, the emperor eagerly went to the workshop. However, upon seeing the empty loom, he was confused and alarmed. Fearful of appearing foolish, he praised the beautiful fabric, though he was deeply unsettled. The swindlers, seeing his reaction, were confident their deception had worked. The ministers who accompanied the emperor were also shocked to see the empty loom, but they couldn't admit it. Afraid of being perceived as foolish, they all exclaimed, "It's absolutely marvelous." The swindlers enjoyed the ministers' reactions, confident their plan was working perfectly. The swindlers announced that the clothes were ready and offered to dress the emperor. Pretending to hold the invisible garments, they dressed the emperor in his new outfit. Although he couldn't see anything, the emperor, afraid of looking foolish, praised the clothes and confidently admired himself in the mirror. The emperor decided to hold a grand parade outside the palace to show off his new clothes. Excited by the idea, he eagerly looked forward to displaying his magnificent outfit to the people. The ministers and servants, aware that he was wearing nothing, were too afraid to speak up. The day of the parade arrived, and the emperor, wearing his new clothes, led the procession through the streets. The people noticed he wasn't wearing anything, but out of fear of appearing foolish, they stayed silent. They forced smiles and clapped as they pretended to admire the emperor. A child watching the parade shouted, "The emperor isn't wearing anything." The people around froze for a moment but soon realized the truth and burst into laughter. The emperor, embarrassed, tried to continue walking but couldn't hide his shame deep inside. The emperor's face turned red as he heard the crowd laughing. Determined to maintain his dignity, he pretended not to notice and continued the parade. Deep down, however, he realized he had been deceived and couldn't hide his shame. The humiliation of that day would not be forgotten easily. Before the parade ended, the swindlers realized their deception might be exposed and fled the kingdom. They took the gold and treasures they had received from the palace and disappeared. When the emperor learned of their escape, he was even more furious, but it was already too late. After the parade, the emperor returned to his room and reflected deeply. He realized how foolish his vanity and pride had been. Resolving to change, he decided to let go of his obsession with appearance and luxury and strive to become a better ruler for his people. The emperor admitted his mistakes and sincerely apologized to his people. He promised to dedicate himself to the welfare of the kingdom instead of indulging in vanity and luxury. The people, touched by his sincerity, chose to trust him again. Gradually, peace and prosperity returned to the kingdom. The emperor took lessons from his past mistakes and worked hard to become a better leader for his people. He abandoned his extravagant lifestyle and personally attended to the kingdom's matters, earning back their trust. Gradually, the people grew to respect him and the kingdom flourished once more. The emperor adopted a simpler lifestyle, wearing modest clothes and interacting with his people. He visited markets and farms, striving to understand the lives of his subjects. His humble attitude inspired the people, and the kingdom grew more united than ever. Listening to the voices of his people, the emperor introduced new policies. He reduced taxes and implemented aid programs for the poor. His fair governance and dedication enriched the lives of his subjects, transforming the kingdom into a happier place for everyone. The kingdom held a grand festival to celebrate peace and prosperity. The emperor joined his people in the festivities, finding genuine happiness instead of his former vanity. Everyone came together to laugh, dance, and share in the joy. The swindlers attempting the same trick in another country were eventually caught and punished. Hearing this news, the emperor reflected on his past and vowed never to fall victim to vanity again. The people rejoiced, feeling justice had been served. The emperor learned the value of living alongside his people, and the kingdom became more united and prosperous. He abandoned his vanity and pride, transforming into a true leader admired by all. The people loved their emperor and enjoyed happy lives. The kingdom was forever remembered as a peaceful and beautiful place.
I hope today's fairy tale brought you joy and happiness. I'll return with an even more special story next time. Thank you for watching.